130 page. Sadbrahma karyam sakalam sadevam tanmatrametanna tato nadyasti astiti yo vakti natasya moha vinirgato nidritavat prajalpaha brahmai vedam vishwamityeva vani srauti vrute tharo anishtha varishtha tasmat edad brahma matram hi vishwam nadhishtanad bhinnataropi tasya brahmai vedam vishwamityeva vani srauti vrute tharo anishtha varishtha tasmat edad brahma matram hi vishwam nadhishtanad bhinnataropi tasya It is one thing to recognize that this aham pratyaya gochara, the meaning of the word I, is different from all that the I took itself to be, beginning with your physical body, your sense organs, your thoughts, I thought, ignorance. None of these things fit into the meaning of the word I. When you see what the meaning of the word I is, from that standpoint alone you can recognize the all-pervasiveness of it. Most people find it easy to appreciate that I, the subject, is different from the object. The seer is different from the seen. Logically, it is very, very convenient, convincing, and you can see that physical body being an object, seen, as you have seen so much logic, jadatvat, vikaritvat, because it is inert, because it is full of modifications, it cannot be consciousness, chetana, cannot be nirvikara. So with this logic, with powerful logic, when you see that, you appreciate the difference between the seer and the seen. And ultimate seer, who cannot be seen, is yourself, the I, the consciousness. But that consciousness is all-pervasive, the appreciation of which brings you what they call in Sanskrit, sarvatma bhava. That not only I am different from the physical body, but also I am the content of the whole physical universe. This is where it begins and ultimately culminates the understanding of yourself. Like when you tell the drop of water, the water is revealed that this water, you are not the drop. There is nothing called a drop. it is always water in and through. And once the drop appreciates the water in and through, then it is told the same water is all pervasive. The entire oceanic universe relies on the water for its existence. Exactly the same way. If you tell the individual, you are all pervasive, it is very difficult for the individual to grasp the all pervasiveness, because so far the I, totally wedded to the physical body, which is limited, sense organs which are limited, thoughts and memories which are limited, can never grasp the limitlessness. That is why first Aham Sabda, the word I, is explained in the scripture. Once you see the meaning of the word I, the absolute meaning, what I told you was what Shankara has written, Aham Pratyaya Gochara, that which is meaning of the word I, then it becomes easier to see the expansiveness of it, because in reality you don't have to expand in all directions. You discover the expansion as such, which is already expansive, ever existing all over as your nature. Like, listen carefully, like the silence. We have in front of us this little instrument, and this instrument is meant to amplify the words, the sound, and not the silence. Are you getting that point, please? This instrument is meant to amplify only the sound, because left to itself, no human sound can reach more than 100 feet. But if you have an amplifier, you can not only amplify it for miles and miles, but also through satellite television, you can take to the whole world. Like European Cup football is played, whole world is watching it. Tennis match, rock festival, whole world. Olympic Games, the whole world is watching it. Why? Amplification. Words needs to be amplified because it has its limitation in its range. When you come to silence, is it necessary to amplify silence? See that example. The moment you keep quiet, listen, as long as you are talking, you are producing limited sound. Sound reaching a limited distance. The moment you stop talking, you are in silence, and that silence is at once Are you getting that point, please? You are living inside your space, in the room. Listen carefully. Your room can be expanded. Now it is only 20 feet by 20 feet, or 10 feet more, 30 feet more, 50 feet more. You can go on adding to the room. But the ground on which you are sitting down, you may say you are sitting inside your room, but you are sitting on the earth. And where is the earth? Are you getting that point? Are you sitting on the planet Earth, or you are sitting inside your house? If you understand that example, are you being the consciousness everywhere, or you are sitting inside your body? body can expand. Your thoughts can expand to a great extent. Consciousness doesn't need any expansion. The moment you touch the silence, you simultaneously touch the silence everywhere. To touch the Indian Ocean, where should you touch? Go to the nearest point in the beach, touch the water. You touch the Indian Ocean. It may look like you are touching a drop, but you are touching the Indian Ocean itself. Standing on this earth, you are touching the what? Whole earth, solar system, universe, Ishvara. Are you getting that point, please? You don't need to expand. Totality has reached you before you try to reach the totality. Are you getting that point, please? Expansion, understand. You must see. It is one thing to appreciate, I am different from the Panchakosha, as the language, Panchakosha Vilakshana, Avastatraya Shakshi, Sthula Sukshma Karana Sarirati Vyatirikta, other than the three bodies, gross body, subtle body, causal body, witness of the waking, dream, deep sleep, Panchakosha Vilakshana, other than the Panchakosha, food seed, vitalaya, mind, intellect, ignorance, Anandamaya Kosha. And whatever is that something, where is that? At once, everywhere. As long as you are in the sound, you are in the limited range. The moment you touch silence, you touch the silence everywhere, part of the silence. So when you see yourself who you are, the meaning of word consciousness, where is that consciousness? At once, everywhere. If you want to name that all-pervasiveness, if you want to give it a name, Brahman. Be very careful in understanding this, okay? Don't simply go on like a parrot, Brahman, 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 Atman, Brahman, Brahman, Atman. What is this? You know, I don't know what, you must see. When you say, you must feel. Don't be frivolous. When you say, you must see, must feel. If we don't do that, whom are we cheating? Talking about deathlessness, happiness, absolute freedom, but suffering all the time, limitation and misery is a ridiculous affair. That is where comes the need for not only your being yourself who you are, but also seeing to it that the same vision manifests itself in every moment of your life. Happy man. With convenience happy, with inconvenience happy. Happily struggling to achieve things. Happily enjoying the result that you expected. Happily accepting the result that you did not expect. There is no sign of laziness, no sign of manipulation, no sign of moodiness, no sign of anything that is associated with ignorance. Pain, misery, anxiety, which ordinary feels genuinely. Understand? Average person's misery is very real. They suffer. There is fear, anxiety, unhappiness, totally under the spell of the mood. For you, when you appreciate it, apparent. Are you getting that? Apparent. Not that it is not there. It is existing. But you see through the reality. You cannot call it Sat, ever existing, because subject to change. You cannot say Asat, non-existent, because available for perception. Therefore, apparently existing, but sometimes it is there. It's like, suppose, just I'll give you any example you can take. Night, suppose you are going to sleep and you cannot sleep. Why? Kosu, mosquito. Just an example. Please appreciate, don't make it frivolous. I am not telling you joke. That is how you can consciously live through life. Suppose it so happens, you are gone to a place and there are too many mosquitoes. Already mosquitoes are biting you. Garam, the night is warm, hot breeze, mosquitoes adding to the discomfort or comfort, whichever you like. Now added to that, if you also go on selling, I don't know what to do, too many mosquitoes, too many. Now do you know what you are doing? You are adding insanity to the discomfort. But suppose you say, hey, that's a great night now. The mosquitoes can't avoid. This heat cannot avoid. Instead of sitting down inside this stupid room, suffering the heat and the mosquitoes, go for a girivalam. 5-6 hours, lie down on the road, hang around, finish the thing and come back. Next morning, sleep. You can do that. Only that much. Luxury also. As much you can be suffering your inconvenience, that much you can be losing sight of yourself in convenience. Beautiful house, nice food, whatever you want is there, lovely climate, no mosquitoes, electricity working. You can be lulled into laziness. Are you getting that point, please? You can be lulled into laziness because everything is taken care. So both the cases are 2 points in your escapism. In inconvenience, you add to your insanity. With convenience, you forget that you must be taking care of yourself. That is why the moment the conveniences are taken away, you are finished. That is why consciously living this knowledge, appreciate. But more you see this, the expansiveness becomes easier. That is, truth here is truth everywhere. So what is your mind now? Where is your mind? It's not only in this body, but also at once, everywhere, conscious of the whole universe, vastness. And please appreciate, to the extent you enjoy this expansiveness, to that extent you shall remain unaffected. That is the test of your wisdom. When you look at a room and few things inside, you shall say the room is very crowded. Few houses in a limited area, you say the area is crowded. But if you expand your outlook, vast space, suddenly those places are no more crowded because In the vast space, they are limited. When you think your head is, you are of the size of your head, one thought, two thought, few memories really bug you down. And what is your dimension? All pervasive. How many thoughts can crowd the infinity consciousness? Are you getting that point, please? How many thoughts or anything can crowd the infinity consciousness? Nothing. That is why consciously you abide in yourself and you see that it is in all directions. So in the sit of meditation, you may be inside your body as though, but in reality you are within and without. Antarvahi shunyam. There is no sense of inside, outside, but all pervasiveness. Brahman. So observe it. That expansion is natural. That's it. Touching the silence here, you simultaneously touch it everywhere. You don't need to expand. No machine to amplify silence. To amplify a thought, you must consciously get involved. From one little thought, you can spin a book, a novel. Amplify consciousness. Expanding consciousness. You have nothing to do because it is at once ever existent, already existent. So one who sees this, Brahma Sampaddi, so that if you want to name it, Brahman. So you see that as the content of the whole universe, which very clearly in terms of Ishvara also you can grasp when Bhagavan says, Maya tatamidam sarvam jagat abhyakta murtina. Maya abhyakta murtina idam sarvam jagat tatam. By my avyakta murti, unmanifest form, the formless consciousness, idam sarvam jagat tatam, tatam pervaded, idam sarvam jagat, the whole universe that is subject to objectification is pervaded by my unmanifest nature, awareness. Same thing you can also say. From the standpoint of consciousness, it's in and through everything. So you see for yourself your contemplation. Your body forms the part of the whole physical universe. Can you feel that? It's so easy to feel because your body, the space, air, fire, water, earth, is a part of the total elements. Do you feel it? That is your meditation. That is your prayer. That is your contemplation. That is your worship. Worshipping is not giving laddu offering to the God. Understand? Giving to Him what belongs to Him. If you first steal a little elemental body from Him, and instead of giving this body away to Him, you are getting a flower to Him. Huh? Do you understand what I am talking to you? Do you understand the picture? Do you see the picture? I steal 5 rupees from your pocket and give it to you. How do you like? You come and pluck the flower from here and give it to me. How nice it is. You go to somebody's house, then suddenly remember, hey, you should not come empty-handed. So pluck some fruits from his garden and give it to him. How do you like it? When the person sees you are stealing, he being magnanimous, he can't tell you anything. When you are giving also, you may feel you are giving, he knows poor things. That is how God is full of sympathy. This body is his. Now I am using this body, first I have stolen his from him, and then use it to pick up something else. So on the theft, another theft. First, can you see? Body is his. Everything is his. Where do I stand? If he takes away the body, the mind, where do I stand? Only in yourself. Helplessly consciousness. And where is that? All over. Brahman. It is not a speculation. Not some type of philosophical observation. That is a statement of fact. With this, you can use this vision and make use of it every moment of your life. You are conscious, suddenly no thought has the capacity to overtake you. Very clearly you can observe your habitual weaknesses. Long before you appreciated this reality, you have picked up so many habits that seem to continue, but now you are laughing at it. Very nicely, some place one example comes. The 10th man, somebody, they go on citing different nuances of the same story. The 10th man, in search of the 10th man, felt so desperate that he started hitting his head on the stone. I don't know why this 10th man, I shouldn't have taken the responsibility, why did I bring everybody? My poor thing started, in his desperation, started hitting the head. Now the teacher comes and points out that he is the 10th man. Okay? Now how is he? Relaxed, relieved. But the mark of the hitting the head on the stone, that marks will not go away. Because he has already hit his head. Like that. Not knowing I am the happiness itself, I have hit my head in so many places. Looking for happiness, looking for satisfaction, avoiding the misery. So many tricks I have developed. All these things will be with you because that is your memories. A mark as thoughts. Marked thoughts. Are you getting that? These are marked thoughts. If what, just because somebody told you, hey, you rogue, you rascal, you fatso, you pumpkin, you shorty, you nut, you tall, some nonsense. Not knowing anything about yourself, you have heavily retaliated, and maybe you had such a fight with that person that you have no more, cease to be friends. Later on, when you come to appreciate who you are, the absolute nameless, say, my God, even this body is not me. And somebody told my body fat or lean, and I fought with him. The whole relationship broke down. What a stupid thing. But it has already happened. Are you getting that point, please? Just because somebody just take away a little money, I cut off my relationship. Just because somebody did something little to me, I destroyed the whole thing. Sha! Yeah. By the time you say sha, meaning you hate it, it has already happened, marked. How much I was afraid that there is a ghost, that somebody is going to die. In reality, there is no death. Oh my God, how beautiful it is. By the time you discover it, You have already committed so many mistakes. That is why the marks will continue. Your memory shall be not of wisdom. The memory shall be of behavior in ignorance. Are you getting that? That is why when you are aware of yourself, these memories you don't rely on. It comes back, but now you know. It's okay. These pictures are collected in wrong times. Are you getting that? You understand that line? These pictures are collected in wrong time. Like two friends, or a husband and wife, lover, beloved, friend of the friend. Doesn't matter. Two people. Before they really could patch up, they had a heavy fight. And once they appreciated each other's mistake and they patched up, say how stupid it was to believe in some other people. In reality, they love each other. Anything that they have done during that misunderstanding period, will they hold on to it? Nah. Forgiven, forgotten. Why? I didn't know. Not knowing how nice you are. I mistrusted you. I doubted your sincerity. I am really stupid. I'm sorry. Now what the other person says? Just forget it. Let's not talk about it. Why? Over. That memories you don't refer anymore. Because that was born of misunderstanding. Wise man's memories belong to the realm of ignorance. How did you develop a weakness for a sound or a touch or a taste or a smell or a sight? Not knowing I am the happiness, I've developed a taste for the sensation. Now having seen it, I'm no more a slave of a sensation. Now I can use it if I like. If I don't, I won't. You understand the freedom? Freedom you get. When in ignorance, you are a slave of a sensation. In wisdom, you are the master of it. When are you a master? When you choose to have or not to have. A slave cannot live without it. So ask yourself a question. You don't need somebody else's explanation or branding to you. You can see for yourself whether you are master of an experience or the slave of an experience. That is where you appreciate yourself. So that consciousness which is here at once, everywhere, all pervasive, that Brahman. If you want to name it, Brahman. And live with that expansiveness. All the time, you are aware of it. That is why very consciously you move around. To the extent you do it, understand, to that extent you shall be a finely settled person. Nothing will touch you. And your forgetfulness can immediately tie you down. The test of your conscious living is, in sometimes I have told it, some book is written nicely anyway, elaborately, a little statement to take. The test of your conscious living is the freshness with which you start your day, with the same freshness you end your day. Your body can be tired. Your mind is absolutely fresh. At the end of the day also you are not feeling tired because you are always with the freshness, with yourself. Only when you lose sight of yourself and go on with the thought built up, you can be going through anxiety, excitement, misery. But if you are always being with yourself, these built-ups do not affect you. Please watch a moment of your anger if you can watch. If you cannot watch a moment of your own anger, watch somebody's moment of anger. See how the person is building up. Started with a simple conversation. Something starts with a simple conversation. Suddenly somebody catches on to a particular word. How can you say that? You should not have said that. Oh boy. Build up. And the fellow is exploding. The onlookers, what do they say? Papa, very short temper. Ayyo, very, it's like on a short fuse. Boom. What did the other man say? Simple thing. And look at how he or she is exploding. They can observe other people exploding. But when they themselves explode, they do not observe it. And that moment, if you are conscious, or if you are in retrospect, afterwards, if you look for it, you shall see that moment you forgot yourself. You jumped. When you are a very conscious person, you walk away. The moment you know somebody is talking nonsense, listen to it, quietly walk away. Because if you retaliate, you create a chain reaction. Don't expect other people to snap the chain. You snap the chain and walk out. The trouble is in ignorance. Listen, the trouble is in ignorance, we always wanted to take the last laugh. Mine must be the last word. That is why people go on talking. I say, you shut up. You say, I say, you shut up. He says, I shut up. I say, you shut up. Both are wanting to shut up. Then why don't you one fellow shut up and go? No, but who shuts up first? And who shuts up last? One who shut up first, defeated. One who shuts up last, wins. That is why, until the other fellow shuts up, you go on shouting. That is why a person can deliberately make you so angry because they know your nature. They can destroy you. If you are a conscious person, you can see the joke, see the fun. Understand? So anytime you are unconscious, you lose sight of yourself. That is why, please appreciate. So Brahma, when you say that, Asti iti yo bhakti natasya moha. One who says it is. And what is it? All pervasive. There is no delusion. Vinirgato nidritavat prajalpa. Like a person under the spell when he is shouting. When he wakes up, no more shouts. Neither other people hold him responsible for shouting. Same way. Under the ignorance, spell of ignorance, somebody might have behaved in a particular way. When he wakes up, he doesn't mind. And other people also clearly appreciate. Poor thing, doesn't matter. One day, a king was going on an elephant. And there was a drunkard on the road. He was standing by the side and he called the king, "Hey, kitna hai ye hathi?" Means how much this elephant cost? The king is going on the elephant with all the soldiers and the drunkard on the side of the road addressing the king. "Hey, how much this elephant cost?" Now what will they do? The soldiers immediately tied him down, pushed him into the jail. Next morning, he was called. So the king asked, so, what were you asking last evening? Then he says, Maharaj, O king, the one who was asking, he is not here. King was impressed. Because under the spell of drunkenness, I was talking. Now that the spell of drink is over, that fellow is gone. So whom are you going to punish? The one who has committed the crime is gone. The king was happy with the brave answer. Go. Why? Because same way. When somebody talks to you, anger talks, hatred talks, jealousy talk, inferiority complex talk. When somebody wants to retaliate, you tell something nice, but is retaliating. Okay, all right. You think it is wrong, no? Okay, all right, don't take it. Do whatever you want to do. Don't try to convince people. Please appreciate. You cannot convince somebody unless the conviction comes from within. That is why most time when people think they are convinced by you, they are really pretending. Because they pretend to be convinced by you because you must be a powerful person. If they don't agree with you, you may cut off the money. You may not give him a travel ticket. You may not help him in his studies. You may not help him in his marriage. Or you may totally dispossess him of your wealth if you are a father and a mother. Therefore, the children are very, very obedient. Why? The will is your hand. The day you write off the will, they write you off. Understand? The day you write off the will, they write you off. Because you are no more needed. That is why if somebody is agreeing with you, always don't feel you are very powerful. It's because the person is afraid. When the person is convinced from within, is a different person altogether. Appreciate. So sometimes anger talks, hatred talks, jealousy talks, you withdraw. So you see for yourself. The Brahma, please don't make it just a word. Brahman means that Brahman is not all-pervasive. That which is all-pervasive, existing all times, all places, all condition, you want to name it? Brahman, Brahmaivam, I am that. Okay? Iti Brahmaiva idam Vishwamati Vani Srauti Srute Atharvanishtha Varishtha Atharva Veda Atharvana Upanishad, Atharva Sirsha Upanishad. In all these Upanishads it is there. He says, now he quotes this scripture. Atharva Shruti also says, Brahmaiva idam Vishwam, the whole universe is Brahman. To convince you about yourself, three things are taken into account. Long back in Taitiri Tattva classes I told you. Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava. Three things. You are the absolute. The one who talks about it is Shruti, Mother Shruti. The scripture. That you shall call scripture which gives you a subject, a knowledge which nobody else gives you. I don't need a scripture to come and tell me I am limited, useless, mortal. No. The Shruti says that you are immortal, absolute. Just because Shruti says, shall I take it? No. Yukti. Logically, it must be convincing. Just because logically it is convincing, shall I take it? Anubhava. Your experiences must be taken into account. And taking it out your experiences, he explains it. So far, you have seen how Shankara has employed very solid, strong logic, yukti, taking into account our own experiences. That who I am is other than the three bodies, three avasthas, panchakosha vilakshana. So suddenly don't forget, oh, this is Sankara's philosophy. This is what Shruti says. That is why don't say Advaita is Sankara's philosophy. Shankara did not establish Advaita. Advaita is already existing in the scripture. He perpetuated it in a more elaborate way. Before him, there are some commentaries, not commentary. Gaudapada Karika is there. So many scriptures are there older than Shankara's works also. But Shankara did a wonderful job writing commentaries on the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra, then writing small works, hundreds of small works, small verses. Therefore, such a great sage, a blessing for our lives. But don't say, it is Shankara's Advaita Vedanta, not Shankara's Advaita Vedanta. It was already existing. So now he quotes the scripture, Atharva Sirsha. Hey, what I am teaching you is not my Kapola Kalpita, is not my imagination or my personal philosophy. Like these days, New Age gurus. When I was in mountain, I flashed in my head. So everybody has to go there and flash in his head, right? Here is a parampara. Shankara has his teacher. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tama Gocharam Govindam Paramanandam Govinda Bhagavat Pada is absolute bliss. Sadgurum Pranatosmi. Govinda Bhagavat Pada, Gaudapada. Gaudapada, like that. It goes. So what we are seeing now, are you getting that? Is a million-year-old, billion-year-old, trillion-year-old? God knows. When is the beginning? Nobody knows. Neither am I interested to know when is the first teacher. Why? Who will know? Why are you interested? Solves my problem? Yes. Move with it. How old is this? Ageless, endless. If you ask the teacher, who told you? My teacher. His teacher? His teacher. Iti susruma purvesham. This is how we have heard. That is why Shruti. So beautiful. So there is no personal philosophy here. One man talking and other man listening. That is why there in Upanishads, there are no what they call as that authoritativeness. This is the man who is the authority. You know such stuff. Anybody can see this. Anybody can see this reality. Anybody can perpetuate it. That is when you try to make a speciality out of somebody. Especially today, especially in our generation, they are trying to make everybody one special fellow. So many sages. Names are not there. The teaching is mentioned. Teacher is not mentioned. You don't see one single temple for Vasishtha, Yagyavalkya, Agasti, Kapila. Have you seen one temple anywhere in this tradition? No. But today, every monk, you understand? Or a temple. Gods are finished. Now these guys are hanging around. The worst thing that can happen to this world today. It's all because of the publicity. Media destroys people. Please. Shankara, see how beautifully you see that. You respecting somebody because of wisdom is a different thing. But replacing them with God is totally a crime. You will see that. Now he says, so this is what the Vedas says. Tasmat. So since Upanishad says that is my experience. Tasmat Brahma Matram. Therefore, Brahma Matrami Vishwam, the whole universe is nothing but the Brahman. That is my experience. That is the logic. That is the scriptural declaration. Iti Adhisthana Matra Adhisthana Vinnata Aropidasa. Aropitasya adhishthanat na bhinnata. Aropita, whatever is superimposed, is not different from the substratum, the creation, whole Vishwa, universe. All names and forms are imposed upon the consciousness. Therefore, the creation doesn't come out of Brahman. Brahman is creation with name and form. That is why you cannot say, when did the creation begin? The creation is an appearance in nameless, formless, infinity expanse. The snake is an appearance on the rope. Appearance. That is why, please appreciate, if you can see yourself who you are, when you recognize your threshold of acceptance is huge. Body can suffer to any extent, you can take it. Conveniences, inconvenience, of both extremes, you can go. You can be like a king, you can be like a pauper. Enjoy the youth, enjoy the old age. Every extreme. Understand? It's because at no time the imposed snake different from the rope, and neither it touches the rope. So the appearance does not dismiss the reality, consciousness that you are, and the consciousness is unaffected by the appearance. Therefore, you are in the creation, yet do not belong to it. You are the nameless, formless, yet living with a body for some time. Liberation, freedom. Okay? With this, having told this, then he says how it gives you logic, how this creation really cannot affect you. Satyam yadi syad jagade tadatmano anantatvahani nigama pramanata asatyavadi tvamapi situ syat naitatrayam sadhuhitam mahatmanam satyam yadi syat jagade tadatmano anantatvahani nigama pramanata asatyavadi tvamapi situ syat naitatrayam sadhuhitam mahatmanam. How beautiful, very lovely. Satyam yadi syat jagataha. Eta jagat, this perceived creation, if it is satyam, it is absolute true, real, never subject to cancellation. Do you know what will happen? 3 mistakes will be committed. What are the 3? Atmanaha anantatva hani. You cannot establish that the Atman, I, self, the consciousness is endless. Why? Because with the birth of the creation, immortality has become mortal. So there shall be no hope of your becoming immortal again. Are you getting that? If the mortality is real, you cannot escape mortality. So there is no question of telling Atma, the I, the consciousness is immortal. You cannot go back to your own self. Are you getting that? If the snake has really become the rope, example is okay? If the rope has really becoming the snake, either of them you can take. If the rope has really becoming the, if you can take the rope to be the snake, that is safety. Suppose you take the snake as the rope, you thought the snake as a rope and you can't take it. My God, you are finished. If you take the rope as the snake, there is no problem. But suppose the rope has really become the snake, can you go back to the rope again? If immortal has really become mortality, will there be if the bound has if the free has really become bound, can you go back to freedom again? If immortal has really become mortal, can you go back to immortality again? Therefore, when the Shastra says Atma Anantatva, Ananta, endless, beginningless, endless, that will be not possible. And again, therefore, Nigama Apramanata. Nigama Apramana. Nigama means Vedas. Upanishads will be Apramana. Apramana means falsified. That is no more a means of knowledge. It is no more the eye of the person. Because he is telling false things. And also the third thing, Asatyavaditvam api ishituhu. Ishvara will be a liar. With these Vedas, Upanishads, who has given? We don't attribute to the ordinary person. Because if the creation and creator one and the same, the creator's handbook is the Vedas. How do I know it is creator's handbook? Study it. It gives you a clear insight in the universe. You know it. But so many people are claiming, study all. Who says not? You read all. What's your problem? See, if you have so much of time, read all. And then find out. Whichever solves all your problem. And all your problems need not be solved. Only one problem needs to be solved. I. Upanishads does not beat around the bushes. Straight away goes into yourself and it fixes it up. As I told you, if you commit one mistake in the equation, later on all equations are wrong. When most of the theology is going on dealing with equations, after the mistake later on, here it hits you on the head. You are the first equation wrong, yourself. Know yourself. Once you know it, finished. So you find out for yourself whichever theology is good for you. Who says not? But this will solve your problem. I don't have time to say something is wrong or right. But this is okay. Choice is yours. Ishvara. And by chance you say, the creation is real, mortality is real, God will be a liar. Because he says you are infinity, absolute. But suddenly you discover you are no more infinite, no more absolute. So all the three, he says, Etatritayam sadhuitam mahatmanam. Na? Sadhu. These three things are not good for anybody. What are the three things? God becoming a liar, scriptures not becoming a means of knowledge, and Atmana Anantatva, that yourself is endless. If you take this Upanishad, the creation to be real, these three mistakes will happen. Therefore, when you see yourself who you are, you see very clearly how the Shastra is beautiful. The revelation is fantastic. And not only you are the one, infinite, limitless, everybody also is the same thing. And therefore, always remember this. All places, all times, all conditions of your life. Okay? More of it we shall see tomorrow. Please close your eyes. Shankara. Just see that point, huh? Go back as you go for a walk or do your work, whatever. See that how all pervasiveness. You don't have to expand. You don't have a machine, amplifier to amplify silence. You touch the silence here, at once everywhere. You see yourself, consciousness everywhere. Consciousness does not need to be expanded. It is always there. Okay? Just see that. See you tomorrow morning. Bye.